In the year 26 BC, the movie begins in the Kondak region. While the land prospered for ages, things changed when the despotic King Aktun took control and forced his subjects into servitude so they could mining a potent substance called Eternium. To acquire the power of a gigantic demon, Aktun fashioned the crown of Sabak. A senior man tracks down Eternium and is bothered for it by different slaves in order to be compensated by the Lord. A kid helps the man get free and conveys the Eternium to one of the ruler's warriors. Rather than a prize, the senior man is wounded and lost a bluff. The kid's dad pulls him away and urges him not to attempt to be a legend. The kid then, at that point, snatches the Eternium from the warrior and escapes with it, however is ultimately gotten and condemned to death. At the point when he is going to be executed, his body evaporates as he shows up before the gathering of wizards, who pick the kid as their boss and provide him with the powers of Shazam. Notwithstanding, the legend expresses that the boss went up against Aktun and annihilated him and his castle prior to disappearing for eternity. In the current day, Kondak has fallen subject to a hired soldier group called Intergang. They are at present searching for an outlaw named Adriana Tomlins, yet she goes through a security-designated spot with her sibling Carmen, in addition to partners Samuel and Ishmael Gregor. The group shows up at a cavern where Adriana desires to find the crown of Sabak for research purposes. While Karin is holding up in the van, Samir's body tumbles off a precipice. Intergang hired fighters appear and hold the other three at gunpoint after Adriana figures out how to obtain the crown. The lead merc holds a firearm to her head and powers her to surrender the crown, yet Adriana starts to peruse the engraving in the cavern, arousing Kondak's alleged boss, Teth-Adam. The soldiers of fortune attempt to go after Adam yet are quickly destroyed individually. The cavern starts to fall, with Ishmael apparently dying. Adriana escapes with Karin, yet they are found by Adam, who continues to butcher more hired soldiers and choppers and tanks. As he moves toward their van, a rocket made of Eternium is terminated at Adam, injuring him when it detonates. He attempts to take off yet falls and is taken in by Adriana. Ishmael ends up being alive, as he is driving Intergang and needed to get the crown for himself. He advises different specialists to find Adriana. In the interim, the superhuman Carter corridor, Hawkman addresses Amanda Waller about Adam's enlivenment in the bedlam he abandoned. She enrolls him to assemble his group, the Equity Society of America, Maxine Hunkel, Typhoon, who have some control over wind and sound, Al Rothstein, Iota Smasher, who has a suit that can make him develop, which he acquired from his uncle, and Kent Nelson, Specialist Destiny, who wears a protective cap that picked him and gives him powers of divination. They take off for Kondak to carry Adam to Waller. While contacting the head protector, Destiny sees a dream of obliteration, which gives off the impression of Hawkman being killed. Adam awakens in the room of Adriana's child, Ammon, who is fixated on superheroes and is eager to meet the hero of Kondak. Adam strolls through the wall and officially meets Adriana and Karin, who make sense of how the residents consider him to be a legend and defender, in spite of the fact that Adam says he is no legend. Adam flies into the city and sees a sculpture of the hero. Ammon gets some Intergang mercenaries to follow him to stand out enough to be noticed. It works, and Adam starts to lay into the mercs, which thusly stands out of the Equity Society. Hawkman and Destiny leave their flock to save two mercenaries that Adam dropped before they pursue him. Adam fights the two characters preceding him as Typhoon and Smasher enter the image. In spite of their endeavors, Adriana defies the Equity Society and lets them know that not a single one of them tried to help Kondak the entire time that Intergang was dominating. And Adam is the principal individual to give the mercs what they merit, yet Hawkman doesn't think they should be killed to be dealt with. Adriana tracks down Adam and addresses him about what she has gained from the Equity Society in regards to Adam's actual story. Adam's conflict with Aktun was supposed to be out of retribution, and when he released his ability to kill the Lord, it ran wild and obliterated Aktun and his powers as well as an enormous piece of contact. The wizards then, at that point, detained Adam in the cavern where Adriana tracked down him. The Equity Society appears trying to get Adam, yet he takes off after Adriana requests that he safeguard Ammon. Ishmael gets to Adriana's condo and points his firearm at Ammon and Karin since he realizes they have the crown. Karin battles Ishmael long enough for Ammon to attempt to move away. However, Karin is shot. The Intergang's hired fighters pursue Ammon until Adam appears to deliver another beating. Ishmael gets Ammon and takes off on a hoverbike. Adam pursues them, alongside the Equity Society. Sadly, Ishmael got away. Everybody refocuses at the loft, where Destiny has kept an eye on Karin's injury. Destiny additionally tells Adriana not to blame herself for Intergang killing her significant other. The group assembles two hired fighters, trying to question them for data, but Adam attempts to compromise them for data. One of them says that Ishmael is gone to a mine. Adam and Hawkman get into a battle after differing over their techniques for taking care of business, destroying their direction through the condo until they find the crown concealed in Ammon's room. En route to the mine, Adriana and Typhoon attempt to interpret the composition on the crown. Adriana initially deciphered it as life is the main way to death, yet incidentally, she was perusing it topsy-turvy and that the expression is passing is the main way to life. Kent then educates Carter regarding his vision, but he likewise communicates trust that there is a method for changing his future. After showing up at the mine, Adam continues to cut down more mercenaries before they find Ishmael and Ammon, the previous having been dependent on Adam appearing with the crown. Adriana is compelled to surrender it for Ammon's life, yet Ishmael endeavors to shoot the kid at any rate prior to wearing the crown. Adam figures out how to fly quickly enough to get the projectile, yet his powers detonate, broiling Ishmael to a crisp, yet Hawkman safeguards Adriana with his wings, Destiny safeguards Ammon, and Smasher saves Typhoon from the impact. In the wake of seeing the degree of his obliteration and making Ammon injured, Adam attempts to take off. He is found by Hawkman and compelled to reveal his origin story after Ishmael had referenced the name Hurat. Adam makes sense of the fact that Hurat was the one who decided to be the wizard's boss. However, after his folks were gone after by Octun's professional killers, with Adam's significant other being killed, Hurat gave Adam his powers to save his life. Tragically, the professional killers hit Hurat with a bolt, making Adam become irritated and pursue Octun with no benevolence. Acknowledging he brings more destruction than assurance, Adam says Shazam and surrenders his powers, enthusiastically permitting the Equity Society to get him. Adam is taken in by Emilia Harcourt, while the Equity Society keeps an eye on Ammon and plans to bring him and Adriana home. Nonetheless, Ishmael is in Damascus and is tracked down by the evil presences that name him their boss and transform him into Sabak. He arises as a huge red-horned evil presence and continues to rise as a military force from damnation to threaten contact. The Equity Society attempts to battle but is effortlessly outclassed. Ammon gathers the residents to retaliate with him, in addition to Adriana and Karin, while the superheroes show up at the vestiges of Octun's castle. Destiny safeguards Hawkman, Tornado, and Smasher from entering, as he understands this is the only way he can save Hawkman from kicking the bucket. Destiny fights Sabak, however, utilizes his powers to contact Adam and inspire him to awaken and rise up out of his unit. He attempts to swim out, but falls oblivious. Adam sees a dream of his better half and Hurat welcoming him as he accepts that he is prepared to rejoin them. Hurat then lets Adam know that it isn't his time. Adam figures out how to come to the surface and says Shazam to get his powers back. He flies back to Kondak, where he sees Sabak kill Destiny. Hawkman, Typhoon, and Smasher advance into battle. Sabak seems to pierce Hawkman as he kicks the bucket in Destiny's vision, yet he has utilized Destiny's protective cap to make deceptions of himself to deceive Sabak. With Hawkman's endorsement, Adam takes advantage of his can-do attitudes to battle Sabak, finishing with him snatching the miscreant by his horns and parting him in two, which additionally causes the undead to be cleared out. Adam heads out in different directions from the Equity Society, while individuals of Kondak serenade long experience boss. Adam decides to annihilate Octun's privileged position, promising to be the defender of Kondak. He additionally tells Adriana that Teth-Adam is too outdated and that he will currently be known as Dark Adam. Mid-credit scene, Adam is found by a robot sent by Waller. She advises him to keep straight, or she will send powers after him. Adam provokes her to do as such, and afterward the robot explodes. A figure drops from the sky. He moves toward Adam and lets him know they need to talk. He ventures out from the smoke, uncovering, as a matter of fact, the last child of Krypton. Superman,